Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Off the Line Racing. We are here getting ourselves ready for what has been a much anticipated arrival of the split between console and PC. This is PC Tier 1, Round 1, and we get ourselves over there to the mighty Zandvoort in Netherlands. What a mighty track indeed. 4.259 kilometres long with 14 turns, 10 to the right, 4 to the left, 2 DRS zones, 2 detection points. Quite difficult for overtaking in some sectors, but if you can keep on the pace and nail your opponent and pull out the optimum strategy, you'll be ahead in no time. My name is Corey Brooks, one of your lovely commentators here tonight. Join with me in the comms booth, it's the one and only, behold, your founding father, it's Ricky Guiardo. How we doing, mate?
Yeah, how are we doing? Very, very excited about this journey in the league. What a place we are in right now. Didn't think it was possible. We've scrapped, we've DM'd, we've done anything to get people in, and albeit 14 drivers only today, we are missing 12 people. So the numbers are there, but really, really looking forward to this one. And Zandvoort is a difficult track to make some overtakes. So when they do come, they should be special.
Absolutely, indeed. I'm very excited to see this come as well. Like you say, Zandvoort, bit of a tricky track, and when the overtakes do come in, they will be fabulous and amazing to see. Don't let us keep you waiting any longer, though, because we're ready to go trackside. Qualifying has begun.
Absolutely. 18 minutes of high-octane action. Of course, lobby resets after qualifying, the same as console. Cross-play. Beggy's, in fact, joined, so we are up to 15. So Corey, obviously you're an admin, not just a steward, not just a commentator. I mean, you really do it all. But I mean, how did you envisage? I mean, you know my vision of the league. You know how much we put the effort in. But I mean, season 2 and already we're chasing PC tiers. I mean, for me, I'm so proud of where we are.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a huge monumental step forward to be able to take that separation zone. You know, a lot of leagues out there still running with crossplay. You see the mix of PC and console, both Xbox and PlayStation, all together in one tier, the fastest drivers they have to offer. But here we're making that leap. We've been able to make that leap. We've got the drivers in. Plenty of drivers enough to make this tier possible and happen. So without the drivers' support as well, it's a huge thank you to those guys for signing up here. And of course, all the work that we put into it to get this here, to get it to happen. I'm excited to see what's to come, but this is round one. This is where we get going, mate. I've got to say, the tension's high, the excitement's high. I'm ready to go.
Exactly, and the thing is, yeah, I mean, to anyone looking in, yeah, 14 drivers doesn't look great, but I mean, you take that into consideration that we've got 12 people not here, you know, or who could race not here tonight, and I mean, any tier that in any league, you've got 26 drivers. You know, you are creating a tier, so you know, it is full beams ahead. We are pushing for it, and forget the future. It's here now, and it's only going to get stronger.
Absolutely, and that's what we aim for. High ambitions, high aspirations. We were just on board with a hacker in that quali. Almost got a bit tangled up in what could be going to the steward's room, but he's got out of the way fairly nicely. PW Jones on the fastest sector one, looking to set a good banker to start us off with. So, PC, off to a good start. We see one of our renowned PC drivers come back to the grid, and what could potentially be a good fight here. Could this be his time to shine in the PC sector? He was in the crossplay side of things.
He says Hacko.
Oh, on board with PW Jones.
Oh, PW Jones. Well, I mean, he was at least for a little bit of season one in the crossplay section, but yeah, he has a hockey now on Tuesdays, so he couldn't participate. So it is the return. But yeah, it's awesome to get him involved because, you know, at the end of the day, we want to be able to give everyone a chance, an opportunity, and a platform. And of course, PW Jones, we know someone who can race. He's got good wheel-to-wheel racecraft. The one thing that we don't know is the pace difference between everyone, because obviously one tier, it's gonna vary. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see who's the quickest, who isn't. As Gacho puts in at 8.7, it's just a little bit faster than Ogerman so far in the first round of hot laps.
Yeah, Daniel Harlan slotting in there on the second row at 9.2. So the fastest out of the drivers setting the 109s. There's only one other driver, PW Jones, making it into that bracket. You see 3 drivers in the 110s, so whether that be a double outlap or potentially just not getting a good lap in. Zandvoort known for its tricky, treacherous corners, and of course the way your car comes bouncing out of the final turn. If you don't nail that racing line, you're going to lose yourself a lot of speed and a lot of time.
Yeah, someone who I did message on Steam. I mean, I got Steambot from Adam. So many people trying to get this sort of tier going. Is Peter Silhon, and he's coming across the finish line now. He is the one to watch out for me. I think he's the one to beat.
Ooh, jumps up into 6th at the minute. 109.3, so very, very close to Julian Prince, just ahead. Couple of drivers in that 109 time, but you're saying one of the drivers to watch. Qualifying might not be there on that banker. In the race, it might all fall into his hands as we get going into the PC side of things. I'm quite excited to see this grid. I've seen some drivers, there's some new names here I'm unfamiliar with, so it'd be nice to see how they get on and how far up they can fight and hopefully bring us some spicy overtakes here. Some nice, lovely action. We know we want to get that going, of course, produce some high quality, hard fur racing. It's what OTLR is all about. The fastest drivers we can find, trying to get them all in here, get them going and deliver some high quality racing.
Oh, and Beggy is crushed going into the pit lane. I was on board for it. Not really sure what happened, but yeah, I mean, he was returning to the pit lane anyway, but that's his run done. Yeah, Beggy not able to set a lap time. Not good. Matt is on a flying lap. Someone who we've actually pulled in this afternoon whilst running 5 lappers. Seems decent enough. His first time he has ever raced in a league environment. So props to him, and let's see what he can do.
Finally out of the multiplayer lobbies and into the Sharks' den, should I say, the deep end of the water, trying to get yourself going in league racing. Lovely to see it. We always encourage drivers to get into it. It's just a lot more fun, a lot more opening, and the community alone that you get involved with. Like you say, flappers there, always running flappers, always getting people involved.
Yeah, absolutely. That's where you get these drivers. Let's have a look. Because he's looking like he's going to be a mid to high 10. It is in fact a low 11, so quite a bit off the pace. I wonder if he did make a little mistake there. Such a short track. If you make one mistake, it does really rip your lap time apart. But this is a new thing, a new day to off the line racing. If either me or Corey are a little quiet or the game audio is quiet, let us know so we can improve it going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. We always value the input in the chat. Anything you say will not be used against you in the courts, but we will certainly use it to benefit the overall streaming quality and to make things going very nicely, get everybody as well a bit of a conversation going, because sometimes the races dry up when you get to sort of the end of that first stint area. There's not a lot of action going on. They're just trying to extend those tyres a little bit, people running in their own little comfort zone. So it's nice to involve the chat in this. Potential predictions. Anybody any predictions? My volume's low. Well, it shouldn't be. I don't know how to improve that. Let me have a little look.
It's possible. Let's just give yourself a little reset. Worth noting that Hacko, in fact, has done already a quicker time than he posted last night. I mean, Hacko is one of the very few that races on crossplay and the PC, of course, the crossplay section. I mean, that's how committed we were, or we weren't, to starting a PC section, was the fact that we allowed PC drivers to sign up for the crossplay console. So yeah, I mean, it just shows you in just a short few weeks how things can change.
Oh yeah, it can absolutely be flipped on its head. You know, it only takes a couple of weeks. It only takes a week, I'd say, to get something truly going strong. If you put the time and effort in, you really work for it, I reckon you could achieve it. But here, no expense has been spared. The amount of hours that have gone into improving this league, and look at us now running the split tiers. You've got your console side, crossplay side, and now we're running our round one of PC tier.
So, I mean, the best thing about tonight, Corey, is the fact that you've just quoted Jurassic Park with no expenses paid. I think that's one for the reel right there.
Oh yes, no expense spared. We need to get things going, get the ball rolling, and deliver the best racing that we can. Of course, with the best drivers that we can find.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a beginner. Listen, we've swung for it, haven't we? You know, we've put our name out there. We're trying to grow, and this is an excellent example of, I think, of everybody's effort. Not just mine, not just the admins, but also the stewards, the commentators, even the drivers who have given us the confidence that we can push beyond what we expected.
Yeah, absolutely. The support of the drivers does not go unnoticed. We've got to point that out. You guys coming down here, sacrificing your valuable time to put on a good show, get yourself involved in the league itself, get yourself a championship up for grabs if you can pull it out of the bag. It's just, you're doing it for glory. You're doing it to say you have won a season. You are a season champion in off the line racing. It's an achievement to do, especially with all these other drivers coming here on the grid, lining up here, fighting it out. You have triumphed amongst them all, and yeah, it's an achievement to be held. That's all I can really say on that one. I love to say that. You know, when somebody's won a championship, I love to sit there and say, yeah, well, I won the championship here, I won championship there. That's such a lovely feeling in the end.
Yeah, Corey, did you download the last file I gave you?
I did.
For the Game
I
Buzz?
forgot to put it on, I've noticed.
Yeah. Just do that after this and then leave and then rejoin.
It'll happen on the restart.
Yeah. It's all good.
We've already got this. I've already thought about this. I was just
well, it's one of the things that we can, we like to do. We like to showcase this, makes our league a little bit.
Oh
different as Gacho with an 8.6.
We were on board with that.
Yeah, Gacho. I tell you what, he's someone who I come across in. It's actually a different league or some sort of esports. I didn't really think I could get that sort of caliber of driver on board, but he's here and he wants to be a part of the journey. So does Agerman. And why the hell not? Why not come and be a part of something new?
Absolutely. Get yourself down here, get yourself involved. If you're on the Discord here today and you're just on the Twitch even and you're having a little look, get yourself in the Discord. Our lovely commentator from the crossplay side, Tom Carter, has pinged that in the chat for you ever so nicely. So if you want to get yourself involved, you're on a PC, you want the crossplay turned off, and you think you've got what it takes to beat these drivers here, you see there's a couple of fast laps being set. Well, now we're on board with Julian Prince, who is improving that time as we come into the second sector, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to jump too high. Depends. Was there a mistake made on that 109.3s? Do any more tenths to pull out of the bag?
Well, what is nice to see is that the gap from the first to say P12 is it's not as bad as I thought, and perhaps it could have been. So there is a little bit of distance. Obviously, these guys have still got at least one more run to go. But yeah, it's really quite nice that nobody's. I was going to say not dominating the qualifying session, although 2 tenths around here by Gacho is pretty big.
There goes Julian Prince. It's a 109 exactly. Oh,
that's a lovely lap.
That's beautiful, isn't it? I love flat times. Flat times make me so happy. That's a lovely lap to get there. Oh, look at that. We have a suggestion in the chat.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's something that we could look at between seasons. But I mean, first off, we got to get this season started. It's round 1. Allfeld, is he on a flying lap? He's just coming up to the end of sector 2.
I'm on board with Banana, who could potentially jump up. Oh, he does by the skin of his teeth. There was just over a 10th improvement. It was just enough to jump ahead of Julian Prince, though.
Yeah, Pucciad's one that's struggling. He was in the. Yeah, he's been in the lobby since the start, so it's not like he's struggled for time. He hasn't been able to nail it, and one-shot quali now for the V card man, and that's a lot of pressure right there.
Beji, or BG, however you say his name, is back into the pitch. Yet to set a timed lap, so he's gone out. He's not happy, and he's gone into the pit lane. So, struggling here in this qualifying. It's not like it's wet. He's just not being able to get a decent lap in there, either invalidations or whatnot. But he's in the pits once again as Matt comes across the line to go up on his time. Just about almost 2 tenths in third sector, but had a bit of a moment though coming out of turn 14, just getting the DRS open and lost a tenth. So not an improvement to jump up, but from his banker time, it's a second up.
Yeah, exactly. And this is his first ever experience in a league, and it can be quite daunting. I mean, he came to sort of the community this afternoon, so he's had no time to practice, no time to prep. So that this is not, I believe, a true reflection of what he his pace. Also, this might be the push that he needs to improve his pace, because the last thing you want to do is sort of be at the back, and at the minute that's kind of where he is. So it could push him on going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, you see some of these drivers being so much quicker than you. It can be intimidating, like you say, especially your first time in a league environment. Daniel Hoyland's invalidated there, looking to go back to the pits. But again, you see it awkward sometimes. You feel a bit, like I say, intimidated. There's no other word to say it. You've got all these drivers that have more experience than you, been doing this longer. They know what to expect. And your first time on the track, especially in the actual race start, is where things really start to sink in. Qualifying, not so bad. You can get yourself around. The collisions are off. So you don't need to worry about the contact. But going down, especially into turn 1 here in Zandvoort, of all places, it's very, very scary for some new drivers, but hopefully with his time he can handle it well.
I thought Pooch might have been on a hot lap then, but he isn't. He's got a Yeah, he's craggy. He's trying to get out of the way, but yeah, for a minute I thought one of them was on a hot lap, but just a little bit of a miscommunication there.
It's all good. Nothing bad happened. Both drivers still on track, both with the wings on them. So
Pucci's the first one on a flying lap.
He's indeed coming around the final turn. Turn number 14. The rear wing is open. The battery is enabled. Oh, he double tapped. The wing closed for a second. Oh, I don't know what could have happened there. Accidentally clicking it by mistake. Coming around turn 1 now, looking clean. Not too much of a wide racing line. Staying clear of those curbs. Around turn 2 and now back around 3. That U-turn there. You see the ghosted teammate of Pucci. Pucci being a reserve, so filling in that V-cab tonight. It's not one of our full-time runners, but he's certainly showed up to get going in round 1. You know, it's history in the making. Season 2 of OTLR, we've got a PC and a console tier set up. That's history, that. Done in a season. You love to see it. He's looking very squared away in the second sector. Again, not running too close to that curb. It can collect you a little bit, send you out and make you lose that rear back end. You're trying to just put as little strain on the car, as little aerodynamic strain on the car so you can get your speed and get the rotation. You don't want to overdo it, especially clipping on those curbs, losing that rear end grip. But he's looking squared away, I've got to say. In third sector, the rear wing will be open for the final time as he comes powering down towards the line. Turn 14, done and dusted. What will it be? Where's it going to throw him? It's only good enough for 12 for 109.6. As now everybody starts barreling towards the line to get their final laps going.
Yeah, and I've just realised I have in fact made a mistake with the lobby settings. It is collisions have been left on when they should be off for qualifying. So yeah, apologies to everyone for that. That's a little bit of rustiness on being a lobby host, I guess, in certainly in league. But going forward, we can sort that problem. Not so, no problem whatsoever. It does happen. Mistakes do happen. And it is what it is.
The Red Bull's going to get a tow. Is he close enough? Here comes Hydro Man towards the line. It's not enough. He falls short. He's still in second place. Gatcha still holds that P1 position. Hako goes across the line. He's in P5. Here comes the Haas.
Yeah, Gatcha's coming as well as around the last bend. Can he improve on an 8.6? Yes!
Oh, yes, he does. It's just under an 8.6. Wow, what a lap there to try and confirm and lock in that pole position. I don't think anybody can respond to that unless Peter's got anything to do, anything to say. I don't think he has. That doesn't look like a lap.
No, I think it's...
Oh, no, he's finished. Sorry, that's my bad.
I think that's it. I don't see anyone improving. Gatcha has done it. He's 2.5 times clear. I mean, what a marker.
There's only one car to come towards the line, and it's Lazar powering down there. He's the last person with that rear wing up and deploying that battery. Isn't it an improvement? It's not. It's so not. And that is it. That is qualifying. Gatcha taking the maiden pole position here. The first time pole for a new driver joining us for the PC tier as we get the PC sector up and running. Wow, history in the making. The first driver to take pole in the first season ran in OTLR on the PC side.
Yeah, and that's exactly where you want to be, starting at the front. Obviously, we will be waiting for what weather conditions are. We'll get that information in the first race because obviously we're having a lobby reset. But yeah, job done.
Lovely stuff. Look at that. Done and dusted. If you can, with that pace, 2/10 clear, if you can just nail lap after lap, I could see a gap there, a bit of a gap filled up. It all comes down to how our Joe Man's going to hold that out in P2. Could be under attack straight down into turn 1 from the Red Bull or the Alpine Banana. Julian Prince maybe benefiting off a good start. Could be interesting. Hako, P5, love to see it. Craggy, P6. Peter, 7th. Jones in 8th. Daniel Hoyland, 9th. Latso, 10th. Your top 10 qualifying finishers. I did get the entire classification on the screen. Nevertheless, we shall bring ourselves back to the comms booth. Just while we have a little chat and the lobby restart gets going and underway at the same time, I can sort out that little game file. But now I shall pull up the calendar so you know what is to come and what to expect of the PC tier here in Off the Line Racing. So you can see we're starting off there in Zandvoort here today. Everybody knows you're here to see it. If you're with us, joining us in the chat, get yourself known, make your presence known. But then for round 2, we go over to the mighty Suzuka circuit in Japan. That has got to be one of my favourite tracks. Not to drive, but to watch the carnage unfold before my very eyes. I know I'm a menace. I've got to admit it. I'm a bit of a menace in that instance. On for round 3, Mexico City. We just had a Mexico GP. Last weekend was the Mexican Grand Prix. But now, as we move on to Yas Marina, Abu Dhabi. Round 4. Sure, I don't mind that track. Okay, any thoughts on Yas Marina? Some people love it, some people hate it. I think we've lost Ricky Chiado.
No, we haven't. It's I am here. Yas Marina, yeah, it's not a track for me. I've just got bad memories. Too many curbs, too many spins. But online, it can produce some classics. It's in real life, it's a bit of a not the best, shall we say?
That could be a bit slow, especially for a season finale. We should go back to the Brazil season finales. I think that would be a better choice. I'm saying that we do head to Brazil this weekend, if I'm not mistaken. So that's certainly going to be a good race to watch. But as we move on to round 5, Australia, Melbourne. Of course, it was your TT time to get yourself down here, your entry time in Australia. So that should be an interesting one. We expect drivers to be on the ball there a little bit quicker than we see in other tracks. You should have been practicing that for your entry into off-the-line racing, so that always proves to be a decent race. Then on to Canada, Montreal. I'll say that now, Australia, probably one of your favourite tracks, isn't it, Ricky?
Yeah, I'm prone to a bit of Australia, as been said. Yeah, it's just full out flat, pedal down and hope the car sticks. Definitely one of those tracks where you want to be second come the last lap. So yeah, look, I'm looking forward to it because I think Australia is a lot of fun.
Yeah, Australia certainly is a decent track to race, I've got to say. I do enjoy a good Australia Grand Prix. A little bit of a Melbourne race going on. I don't mind that. But Canada as well. I don't mind a Canada Grand Prix. Just track limits catch me out a hell of a lot around there, to say the least.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot about the calendar that I like. Obviously, it's very different from season 1. And plenty of tracks where it isn't just high speed, there's slow speed. So it will taste, it will test the credentials of drivers.
Yeah, you got to agree though. Really, just trying to nail it. You can't run it too wide. You've got to be nice and easy with it, and just hope that you get the best race possible. That's all I've got to say about that one. Test your mettle. Test how good you are at keeping the car under control and not running too wide off the track and picking up those infamous track limit penalties. Ruin your race. Absolutely flip your race upside down. And then Singapore, round 7, before we have our Christmas break. No, Singapore is a good choice. It's very, very hard for overtaking. So again, they're a good place for the drivers to show their talent, their skill, their racing etiquette, if you would. Try and maximise whatever line they can. DRS, it does come in Singapore, but doesn't help you too well unless you're on that big long straight. So turn 1 certainly going to be one of those corners where maybe we have some scraps and battles.
Yeah, Singapore. I like Singapore for league racing. It can more than anything. It can bring some mixed conditions, something that we've not really had in this league as yet. So I'm looking forward to maybe that happening. But yeah, the tire degradation as well is an interesting factor. It's very, very hard there. So yeah, listen. We're gonna learn a lot. We're gonna see which drivers are the ones to beat. As I am currently just in the middle of
setting the grid.
setting the grid. So
Yes,
we are
nice
missing
one.
one driver. I will let you know who that is. But for now,
Yeah, and we have
yeah,
a Christmas break. Anyway, we do have our nice little Christmas break. So you see, there's not really a break there going from round 1 all the way through to round 7 because you will have a 2-week resting period, or maybe was it 2 weeks? Is it 3 weeks?
I think
Resting
it's
period.
3 weeks. I think it's 3 weeks.
We have a 3-week nice long Christmas break. So looking forward to that before we come back to the second track.
Yeah, we're missing Pooch. Can you just
Pooch,
send him an invite?
Pooch. I will give him an invitation. Online friends. He's not appearing online. So I cannot.
Interesting. Oh, okay.
I cannot. Yes, I've already done the boards, Tom Carter. Thank you for the
yeah, he's
sponsor
already
boards
done the
are
boards.
updated. Don't you worry so much about that. But Austin, Texas, when we come back for after your nice little Christmas break, nice little 3 weeks off, you have a nice little Christmas holiday. Austin, Texas, your second track you needed to complete a time trial for your seat in off the line racing. So again, that should be a nice fine race. Sector 1, the S's, ooh, absolutely flat to the floor, nailing left, right, and then left, back around to the right, long left, long right, all the way through sector 1. It's just absolutely nailing those corners to perfection. I love to see that when they're really sending the car flat to the floor and manage to make it stick and grip and gain all that time. Because if you snag the slightest little bit of understeer, especially in Texas, you lose a lot of time in sector 1, that's to say the least. Going into Bahrain. Oh, sorry, go on.
I was just saying, Texas is that's a third sector, so it's low grip. So anyone with high downforce will really, be strong there, and maybe compromise middle sector. But yeah, Texas is a weird track for me. What about you? Do you like it? That turn 1 for me is the worst turn on the game.
Yeah, I hate turn 1. I can never get the braking correct. I'm always either applying too much or not enough and running it too wide. I just can't get that balance, that happy medium to actually nail the line and gain time because you're off your racing line by the slightest amount. You don't get the rotation right, then you can't get back on the power quick enough coming back down the hill, and you just lose absolute tenths on the exit of turn 1 if you don't get it right. It can really mess up your entry coming down into those flat S's as well, losing all that speed and momentum. It really does my head in.
Okay, I think we are good to go.
Bahrain, Qatar, and United Kingdom finishing off.
I think we are ready to go. Yeah.
Well, let's get ourselves going. But once again, we'll take a little quick look at the driver lineup as everybody gets themselves ready and up. You can see the drivers that you should expect to see in the full-time seats. Of course, only 15 making it tonight. One of those being a reserve driver. Hopefully we shall see a much better attendance next week out. Get some of these drivers going in this PC sector on Off the Line Racing. This newly built and finally polished PC sector. We have lovely rules laid out. Some quick drivers as you saw today in that qualifying session. Just under a 108.6 for Paul. Mighty lap in Zandvoort. You know, the lap's fast as it is. But to pull that one out in qualifying, lovely stuff. Love to see it.
Yeah, I just hope I haven't messed up the grid order and we restart because this is the downside. The time is the downside of a lobby reset. Obviously, a lot of leagues do it. We have started doing it since season 1. It's something that generally is felt that is necessary to stop lobby bugs, to stop problems, and it's sad that we have to do that, or we feel like we have to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just the game being the way it is with its non-lobby bugs. We see bugs all the time, even with safety car. Sometimes safety car goes in, the graphics still on the screen. Even that alone, just the slight little details. So we have these lobby restarts to try and make sure and mitigate and try and ease in the game a lot better and make it a better racing experience.
Get off the lineup, mate.
Oh, yes. Still on the lineup, but I am currently waiting for the drivers to get themselves ready. But we are trackside, ready, waiting for those drivers to get their setups on. Of course, the lobby restart, the setups in qualifying have been changed, taken down.
Well, they should know. They should know if they need to reapply their setups anytime you go into a lobby, the first thing you do is apply your setup. So for anyone who doesn't do that, that's a shame. But of course, it would be their mistake. And again, this could be seen as a problem for a lobby reset.
I wouldn't say so much a problem. I just say they need to be a bit more vigilant of what's going on around them, because of course the lobby restart, getting rid of that. So like normally you go for a quality session, you just expect your setup to be there when the race starts, but with that lobby restart, it doesn't happen this time around. The strategy is going to be an interesting one. What do you feel like on the tyres? What do you think is going to happen here?
I think we seen last night that the medium to hard was strong. The soft was okay to begin with, but beyond sort of 11 laps, it's kind of dead. We are getting going. Corey, take us away.
I'm very excited for this. We have trackside 3, 4, 5 lights. The lights are lit, the grid is set, and PCTR is away for Off the Line Racing. Looks like it's a good start from your front runner. Sliding though, sliding. Really struggling with a rear traction. He opens the door for Adjo Man to come straight powering through, putting the pressure on side by side on the exit. As they go into turn 2, backs out of it. Banana trying to attack Julian Prince. Julian Prince is through, Craggy's through. Banana's dropping 2 positions, maybe even 3 positions here as Hako now gets on the attack. He's had a stinky line though, coming through turn 3. Could not get the power down, but the front 2 battling it out. You see Adjaman right on that rear diffuser there as we were coming up into turn
And in
7.
the midfield, Peter Schillian ghosted, just about saves himself from getting damage. He will be happy with that, because I tell you what, there was a few slow-moving cars right in front of him, but it's he lives to fight another day, and he is fighting right now with Daniel Hoyland and Banana 590.
PW Jones trying to get the attack on as well. That's all, getting up that final point position there. So that's a nice move done and dusted for PW Jones. Now he needs to try and press on to try and get close enough to Daniel Hoyland to try and push on. But as we come around the final 2 turns now, lap 1, done and dusted, and everybody is aware. Within DRS, nobody losing out too much. Everybody still within that striking distance. We have a fight going on at the back though. That's a spinning BG. He's out. Same with Matt. Maybe contact there. Maybe an altercation. We didn't catch that on the camera. Craggy's on the attack of Julian Prince there. Coming out of turn 1. Side by side through turn 2. Diving. Trying to get that move. Diving goes Julian into turn 3. Will benefit on the traction though. But they're still side by side. Craggy is fighting this to the end. You see a fight from the start there. You see the front runners have swapped around. The Red Bull back ahead. Oh, here comes Julian Prince, the V-Carb, looking to take P2 maybe. There's a 4-car battle here. Coming around into sector 2 now, but everybody backs out of it. The speed of the corners starts to slow down. Nobody wants to crash out. Nobody wants to risk that contact and damage, apart from Hako, who's going to send it on Craggy there. The McLaren under attack from the Mercedes, but Craggy managing to keep that P4. Has lost a bit of time to the cars in front, but surely will gain that back now. Coming through sector 3, the track slows you down. Slow speed corners before you back flat to the floor. 313 and 14. You slight lift in 13. Trying to maintain it. Potentially apply that brake just to get that rotation. 14 absolutely flat to the floor. DRS enabled. Coming around the bend of 14. But here comes the battle now. Gatcha trying to retake position. Julian putting himself into a position to take P2 there. The V-Cab fighting it with that Alpine driver. It's really getting spicy here on lap 3. No driver is holding back. Oh, Hako almost collecting himself in the diffuser, has opened the door for Craggy to come swinging through a turn 3 here, coming through to finish first sector. Craggy just couldn't get through. Oh, wow.
Well, I tell you what, Craggy's had his Weetabix this morning, because he is going for everything. I mean, he is fighting with absolutely anyone who sniffs his gearbox, and he's now got a move. He's got Peter on his inside. He's now got a upcoming Alpine behind him, and it's a complete mixture, Corey. I'm not sure if you've seen it. It's a complete split between mediums against softs. So it really is medium soft or soft medium.
Oh yeah, we can certainly see that that's the strategy gone for. Drivers going straight onto that soft compounded tyre. They must be lasting huge amounts of time here. We know the soft compound tyre is not a favourable choice on a lot of the tracks in the F124 game, you normally go for that medium hard, but here in Zandvoort, softs certainly being a tyre to use in league racing, and the mediums now certainly starting to prevail a little bit there. Gatcha still fighting away, which Ajoman making a move with DRS has opened up a bit of breathing space, but I think it's going to close ever quickly as the soft tyres still certainly have a lot of life in them to press back on, but the gap is opening up. Gatcha's pushing a bit there, really trying to push on, really trying to pull away from that pack and get out of that fighting.
Yeah, Gatcho being on the medium compound shows great confidence in his ability to fire up those tyres. He has retaken the lead from Ajoman, but Ajoman well within that DRS, and it's so powerful. It really isn't an issue right now. The problem for Gatcho is if people get past and we get an early safety car, because then you'd imagine pretty much everyone would jump onto the hard with a potential late soft at the end. But it's a great start. A lot of battling, very clean. A little bit of trouble at the back between Matt and Beggy, but apart from that, it's been very exciting stuff.
Oh, Peter there with the fastest lap. The driver running in 6th, going for an outside send on Craggy, but he's just not on the brakes as well as he'd like to. But he does have a good run still on that rear diffuser, the McLaren driver. Really looking for any open door. Craggy made his attacks early on. Maybe now needs to recharge a bit of battery and potentially use it as that defensive tool. Look at that, the Red Bull swerving left and right, looking for an open door. Any door, banging away, trying to get it to cave in, but Craggy is just not opening it yet.
Yeah, but what this is doing, all this battling between, Peter's got the pace of Craggy at the minute, I have to say, but this is dragging Daniel Hoyland, which is dragging PW Jones. They're all closing up here. All felt in 11th. 1.5 behind Pooch. Poochie's just outside the DRS. We've got a spinner at the back. That's Beggy.
Peter, a big lock up there. He's
dropped it in sector 1. So it's not going great for Beggy right now, but the action moves. And it is calming down slightly. And we are starting to get into a bit of a rhythm.
Yeah, they're trying to watch the tyres now. They tried to get those early moves on while they have that tyre advantage. Now it's about prolonging the tyre life. Like I said, the softs are going to go now for as long as possible, whereas those medium runners are going to use them as guinea pigs so they know how long to expect their soft compound tyre to last. So this is where the mind games come in, the driver mentality, where they look for that strategy, they look for any way to one-up their rival in race scenario. But as it stands, everybody in DRS all the way down to P9. You love to see that. Beggy, a 10-second speeding in the pits. So that's going to affect his race. He's going to have to serve it at some point, but he's swapping those tyres, maybe picking up some damage early on, as we saw the little bit of an altercation. Didn't get it on the stream, but saw them fly down the order on the leaderboard, on the timing screen. So something happened with the Kick-Sauber and the Ferrari, we're just unbeknownst to what.
Yeah, and the way this race has started, it's really looking good for the likes of Daniel Hoyland. Even Pucci down in P10. Okay, a couple of seconds off, but this train, we've been on the quicker tire on the second stint. That is a nothing gap. That will easily be closed. So right now, vantage medium to soft, if that is the strategy.
Yeah, I've got to agree with you on that one. You want the softer compound as your final stint, and the car's a bit lighter. They're not going to need to work as hard having that full fuel load, and you can really make the most of it then. So medium to soft, looking like it could be the optimum strat here. Some drivers, I don't know, the soft runners may be banking on an early safety car, but we don't want to see that to happen. Things are going very, very well thus far. Craggy is closing right up to the rear of Hako there. Is he sizing up a move on that Mercedes driver? Oh, he is! There it is! He's looking for it. The door was slightly ajar, but not open enough. Peter still struggling to get past that McLaren. He's now going to try and send it late launcher. And the inside locks up again. That's twice we've seen the Red Bull lock up in the same corner, coming into sector 3 while he's trying to get past that McLaren. Craggy doing everything he needs to. putting that McLaren in the perfect position, making his car as wide as possible, not letting that Red Bull through. This is
Baggage
fine
retired,
racing.
and it's a full safety car.
That's full course. That's full
It's a full
course.
safety car. So, just going back to that incident between Craggy and Peter, it did look, it just looked sheer frustration. Sheer frustration from Peter. It looks like he's got the pace. He just couldn't get past, and I think what we're going to see now is we're going to see absolutely everybody into the pit lane, which is going to affect more than anyone Daniel Hoyland, who unfortunately is quite close to his teammate.
Yeah, that's not going to work out too well on that double stack. There's a little bit of time bridging them, but it's not enough. Of course, the tyres need to be swapped around and stuff like that when they actually get into the pit box. He's going to be stopped. He is going to be stopped. So whether he does choose to box, I mean, Craggy being on the soft compound tyre and though being the leading driver, surely will stop for the hard compound tyre now. Try and look to go to the end. But an unsuspected safety car from Benji has just completely flipped the race now.
Yeah, it's a free pit stop for everybody. I don't think anybody would be stupid enough, especially around here, to stay out. Yes, you would get track position, but it would last a couple of moments. Absolutely everyone I expect to be in the pit lane.
Oh yeah, there we go. So Daniel will follow Craggy in, although he'll be held up a little bit. Everybody flooding that pit lane. I mean, some drivers may get that double stack. I don't know who else are we seeing in there. Is that the Alpines? No, Banana's at the back. Banana's already stopped. So he managed to get to the pit lane before the safety car before we went to safety car. Managed to dive in, get those hard compound tyres on. Hako going for mediums, Latzo and Orfel all going for medium compound tyre. That's an interesting call, if I've got to say. It's 27 laps to go as of yet.
Yeah, Banana must have had some sort of collision because he was not that far behind. He was right in the mix, so we've missed. Well, I've missed something. But PW Jones up from 9th through to 6th through that pit stop. Going on to the mediums now, that is a bold call.
Yeah, I've got to agree. That is very, very bold strategy to pull out of the bag. I mean, you could be expecting that late on, so it could happen. But see, I don't want to commentator's curse it. I don't want to mention it because I mentioned it before and we got a safety car, so I'm not going to say it again. But we got Hako on the mediums. That's bold. It's brave. Could be expecting a late one.
It's aggressive. It's aggressive. It is saying to me that they're going to go out and make some moves, and let's have some fun.
Well, let's see what happens. Of course, Aston Martin Latzo also following that with the Mercedes driver Orfel and Nadir, the Ferrari driver, outside of the points, has not got anything to lose. I mean, that again, go for it. Medium tyres. Try and get those positions back. Try and get yourself back into the points. There's the call. Safety
wow,
car
that's quick.
That's lap.
I was not expecting the safety car in this lap with Nadir to be, that far behind. But at least Nadir's got rid of the penalty. And we go again.
Yeah, we are, and I shall bring us on board with the race leader, who seems to be gone. Did he get a good enough jump on his rival? He didn't. But I think Agile Man had a good enough jump on Julian Hako, was not caught out for a second, right on that rear diffuser though of the V-Carb driver. Now, can he make any moves? We said this is on the mediums, aggressive, bold strategy to come back into this restarted race. But he's at the minute, they're not fired up as of yet. They're still just looking behind, waiting for an open door. Ignore the safety car graphic on the screen. We are not under safety car conditions, one of those bugs we were talking about earlier before we did the lobby restart. But again, Hako looking to be in a good position. The gap's opening up between him and Craggy.
Yeah, the thing is, Hako's got to be careful about the stopping power because whilst he can brake later, he needs to have taken into consideration. Ooh. As Julian has a moment, that's an easy position for Hako. Saying that hard tyre will not stop in the same manner that medium will. And Hako, when going for moves, when going into braking zone, needs to be calculated with it.
Yeah, he needs to really show his racecraft. He needs to show his experience and talent. Like you say, he's going to have much better braking power on those medium compounded tyres. So while the hard's braking earlier, he's going to have that later braking line. But will he be in the position or in the correct place for an overtake to swing one in the inside, maybe go around the outside. It's all down to this driver's
Oh,
ability now.
days. Another yellow
Oh,
flag.
yellow
Another safety
flags.
car.
Nadia's out.
Not a good day for Ferrari. It's another safety car. We've had more safety cars in this race than we have in, yeah, cross-play completely. But this won't change anything. I think those on mediums will stay out. Those on the hard will stay out. So it doesn't really do anything. It just gives everyone another minute. Unfortunately, it's just one of those things. Safety car brings safety cars. It potentially wasn't even that bad, but not a good day for the Tifosi. But listen, if the mediums couldn't make it prior to this, can they stretch them now?
No, yeah, this is beautiful for medium runners. They're going to be able to extend that tyre life, extend that much needed rubber as we slow down the race, slow everything down. We've got this lap to go around, then one more under safety car before we see the safety car come in. So earliest it's going to come in by is probably lap 14. We should see racing going again. So again, extending that life. Very, very good for the medium runners. It's now for Hako to try and capitalise on that. Get past these front two with those hard compound tyres that are going to be fired up, ready to go. They now have the time to generate a better temperature as we come around on the safety car pace. Yeah, I can see some weavers there in the back. Julian Prince weaving those hard compound tyre, trying to generate that much needed tyre temperature. So yeah, this is perfect for hard runners also. They can warm them up, not be under too much pressure from medium runners, although the mediums still being that better tyre, having that instant tyre advantage. They can push the harder compound tyre a little bit more in defence.
Yeah, and interesting, Pooch has decided that he doesn't like those hards. He wants to be on the medium. So he has gone on to some fresh mediums. I'm not too sure why people are, to be honest with you, so close to each other, because I would want at least 5 or 6 car lengths just so I could do a little bit of weaving, be under no threat of damage, and just not be stressed that someone's going to break instantly.
When you stay nice and close, trusting their fellow man is something they're certainly doing.
Exactly.
A bit too much trust here going into their respective rivals. Anything can happen, this is racing. I've certainly caught myself. Oh, that's in early. Oh, wow, we haven't even completed a full lap.
It is, but, I mean, there's no real reason to keep it out. I mean...
Oh, that's an interesting little bend over the rules there. We shall go back to game screen. So, I don't know why it keeps doing that. I need to have a look at my settings. For some reason, every time I switch source, the game screen is black, but then kicks in.
Yeah. And he's gone. Gacho is gone. He's gone early. I just wonder if he's going to be throttle controlled, and he is.
Oh, he is completely throttle controlled.
You can see he's been caught because he was too close to the safety car. Now these guys need to be careful here. Gacho just about gets away with it, but Hako sniffing at Adriman, and for now holds on. But that was all because
Craggy!
The race leader went a little bit early.
Yeah, race leader a bit too early there, misjudged that one, but Craggy's certainly trying to make the opportunistic move off that restricted start there. He's still pushing it side by side with a V-carb. He's sending it on Julian. Julian's forced a little bit wide there, cannot swing the car in, not with that McLaren next to him, did not get the better line. Craggy's through. Julian lost a lot of time there, but he's looking to make it back. Has a little bit of a snap there, does the V-carb, but doesn't get himself spun around.
Yeah, certainly interesting how Craggy got the mate done, but he has done for now. It's not really too relevant. Julian just needs to get on with it. There's still, well over half the race to go. So this race will not be defined by that moment, but could potentially have a massive impact. But he's still within the DRS, and these guys, of course, they're going to get their elbows out. Hako doing a good job in P3, but he needs to really start making some ground, doesn't he? He needs to make the most of these tyres, otherwise, come towards the sort of lap 30, he's going to be on the back foot.
I fully agree there. He needs to get the moves done now rather than sit behind and just stay with those runners, get ahead, and then when your tyres are feeling dreadful, absolutely disgusting, you use that in a way to slow down your rivals, not let them have that easy overtake, make it hard for them and let them use up their tyres more. He's on a slide. Oh, that could have been disastrous. Two positions maybe lost here as the V-Carb. Julian Prince also goes through. That's 2 positions lost for Hako. Oh, he just got a bit friendly on the brakes there, or maybe clipped a bit too much curb.
Hako has just left a brown one in his diaper.
Absolutely. That has certainly woke him up. Change of underwear.
Yeah, he does not want to be fighting too much right now. He's around the outside. Lazzo just goes around the outside of Paul. And what a move.
Daniel Hoyland under attack from Orfeld. Orfeld now getting through. Mercedes on the attack. Can the V-Car follow Pooch? No, he cannot. Pooch is going to try. Yes, he is.
Ooh.
Oh, that could have been fabulous. He's certainly looking for that open door. It was slightly left ajar, and he went for it. Oh, look at that. The stopping power.
Oh, they're pushing. They're pushing so hard here. There's barely anything between them. This is where the gaps will start to show. There's a little bit of a gap between Banana and Poochhead. Banana and Peter struggling. I'm not really sure how they're so far off the pace. Whether they've got damage. A little bit of a send from who's that?
Poochhead. Poochie sending it on Hoyland. Still side by side on the exit. Slide contact. Oh, keep it together, Poochie boy. Ooh, my word, that could have been absolutely chaotic. A bold strategy from the V-Carb driver going on those Hoyland. Oh, my word, it's all coming out here in the back of the grid. For these
and Dan needs to be smart now. He needs to let Pooch go because they've lost so much ground. Dan's going to, in fact, go into the pit lane. I wonder if he's got any damage.
He just slammed it in. He's out. He's retiring.
Yeah, he's had enough. There's nothing wrong with that. He's had enough. But Julian down in P5. He's now 1.1 behind Craggy. And, he's really going to need the lap of his life to get back in that DRS.
Yeah, Pooch is really going to have to try and send it now. He's no longer fighting with Daniel Hoyland. He's down as 1.7 seconds. Now needs to have an absolute fantastic lap. Or maybe even 2 laps, close that down. But that DRS, you say it's powerful, they've got it, they might be able to bridge a bit of a gap unless they fight away. I'm currently on board with the front runners from P1 down to P4. A 4-way battle for victory here in the Netherlands. And I wonder who's going to come out on top. I've got to say, Gacha looking fairly strong for it. Hako still not making the moves we expected. He's still sat there in P3, not making the most of those medium compounded tyre. I think he's just trying to preserve them more than most.
To be honest with you, I think Adjaman's looking equally as good as Gacho. The one person who isn't is Hako, because it's so... The thing is, when you're in a train, you never want to be the third one in the train. And around Zandvoort, it's just so tough. He's going to have to make something happen here.
He just doesn't seem to be getting the traction down like he wants to on those mediums. The exit speed of the hard runners is matching him on corner exit. It's only in the braking Hako seems to have that advantage. So he needs to be smart now and try and use this to his advantage. Try and let the car roll into the corners. Use a little less braking. Use the aerodynamics. Slow it down and just coast it through a bit better. And then you can close the gap up. Prepare yourself for what could be a DRS sprint. Like here now, finishing Sector 2. This could be a prime opportunity, opportune overtaking venture for Hako. Having the better tyres, slamming on the brakes there into turn 11 will certainly be a lot nicer for him than it would be for Agile Man on the hards.
Absolutely. There's no reason to suspect we'll get a safety car, so this might just be it. And it's Mercedes versus Red Bull versus Alpine, and there is a McLaren involved. And Lazzo, let's not displace Lazzo because he's up to P5 now.
Well, Aston Martin certainly showing his talent here. He's closing up that gap. He's in the DRS now. He's really gained a lot of time on those mediums. PW Jones leading that second pack of DRS runners, which Poochhead has now caught.
Yeah. So there's 2 trains beginning to form. It's going to be so. I I think Craggy went on the curb where it sort of skims you and bottoms you out, and he's lost a position to the Aston Martin driver.
Well, he's almost out of the DRS though, but this is beautiful for Paul Jones as he now just lurks within that DRS striking distance. We could see the field close back up again here. That one mistake from Craggy, allowing Paul Jones to just have a sniff of DRS, it could come.
I think what you need is, I think you need the top 3 or 4 to be battling, just to allow Craggy to get back into it, and then Paul is getting past. He's now down into P7. So Allfelt is the man on the move. So Mercedes going strong here, third and 6.
Good result for the Mercedes boys, both running medium compound tyre. So certainly being the strategy to be on. Good way to start off the constructors also. You see there's only one Aston Alpine in a good points position. You see Banana is just within points, only getting that final point. The Red Bull out of it, but both Mercedes drivers in a good chance of scoring some good points to set off the constructors with a bang.
Yeah, I feel like I've kind of given Peter a bit of the curse because I did shout for him and think he was going to be sort of, maybe the one to beat, but it just hasn't panned out. He didn't have the best of qualies, certainly not having the best of races, but it could be track specific. And right now, I think, the top 2 look pretty good, I would say.
Hako maybe sizing up a move here.
Yeah, I think he's just a little bit too far behind.
Oh, yeah, he is just about.
Oh, and I tell you what, I thought he was going to run into the back. You can see the stopping advantage he's got. He's so much
contact there between Allfelt, Julian Prince. Julian sent one into turn 1. Almost got themselves in a bad situation, but Julian keeps the position. The door's been opened. Oh, what a dive from Pucci.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was the cleanest of moves from Pucci. It was a little bit from nowhere. But that said, didn't get the position anyway. So, just those tyre advantage is the difference here.
Those mediums are absolutely flying, to say the least. The high compound tyre just do not have that stopping ability. And yet you need it here, especially in Zandvoort.
Yeah, you certainly do. Craggy has fallen right off now, and that's the power of DRS. So it is a battle between the top 4. Craggy's sort of battling himself, and then you've got PW Jones all the way down to P10. Peter coming back into it though, 2.4 behind.
No, it's not over yet. Still 15 laps to go. A lot of time to bring himself back into it. Oh, Hako almost having a little sniff of the radar diffuser there, Vadro, man.
Yeah, I think you can. Oh, and I tell you what, he's going for an outside to get a better exit out of turn 3.
Oh, I wonder if he's gonna
this might be the move. This might be the move. Stay on board with him because, no, he's decided against it. Yeah, he's trying something different because he knows he's running out of time. That that tire life is draining away. I'll tell you what, we've got a hell of a nice battle going on for P7. A couple of little naughty sends, but it's still fun. It's still fun to watch. And now you've got Banana on the back of Pooch, who's on the back of Allfelt, who's on the back of Julian. I don't think Julian will be too happy with a couple of the moves as Allfelt with the first penalty of the season. Now that people have got their penalties out of the pit lane removed. Banana having a little snooze.
We're still side by side. Oh, Banana with a bit of a snap there.
No, he's not. He's going for a better exit, I think. So still behind. Oh, let's have a look at Allfelt though, because he's battling side by side. Well, just for the moment with Julian. Julian decides against it. I tell you what. Some racing everywhere you look, apart from Craggy, PW Jones. It's there's battles everywhere.
A mighty scrap going on.
Look at P11. It's 2.2.
He's closing up, 2.1, it's dropping and dropping, still 14 laps to go, plenty of time to get back in this fight. We'd love to see him there. Oh, 1.7!
Yeah, clean air is king. Who said that? Oh, he's gone well wide there, though. That's going to cost him a little bit of time.
Oh, here we go, the fight back on, Julian Prince and Orfeld. Here comes a teammate, Pucci also looking for it on the inside line.
That's a beautiful move. What a move.
Wow.
Lovely send, lovely send. I think Orfeld's seen it coming, but you got to say, that was clean, as you like.
That was beautiful.
What a move from Pucci. Pucci ain't shy of a dive bomb, let me tell you.
Oh, no, he's really sending it, yeah. Elbows are out.
Yeah, I think we can see him in the stewards' room a couple of times this season.
Oh! Collected on the curb. Kept himself going nicely. That could have been disastrous for Pucci. Oh! Banana.
Matt's had a spin.
Banana's right on the rear tail of Orfeld there. The Mercedes that was once in 6th position, dropping down now to what could be the final point position.
Yeah, and this is the thing. I mean, look at Matt. I mean, okay, he's not having the best of races, but he's still in the race. Like you get a safety car now, put on some new boots, you're right back in the mix. This is why you don't quit in racing.
No, absolutely. Anything can happen. Anything can happen when when they're racing this hard. Look at this. Craggy, PW Jones fighting away. Jonesy's through. You know, drivers fighting this hard, anything can happen. The slightest contact, these cars going excess of 200 miles an hour, the slightest wheel bang can send you packing into the wall. You'll be on an all-inclusive holiday to the hospital, to say the least.
Yeah, I have to say I've been quite impressed with the compact of the field. Okay, there's a little bit of gap here and there, but there's 2 or 3 trains are forming. You know, if certain incidents don't happen, it's potential that we've got a decent train there. So it shows that maybe we might have a surprisingly competitive tier.
This could be a very interesting tier to say the least. Like you say, you've got 2 trains. There's 2 lots of fighting going on here. So it's going to be fights left, right and centre every race if you think about it. If they can stay as they are and stay on the same... Oh, Craiggie's through on PW Jones, easy with the DRS. But if they can stay like this all season with different drivers, we could have some surprising battles for championship here. There's 4 drivers, potentially 5 if you count Craggie in after his little moment, fighting for the race victory already. So there's 5 drivers that could potentially be in for the Drivers' Championship this time.
Teammates colliding. It was Julian and Pooch. There's carbon fibre everywhere.
Has got damage. Front left end plate has left the chat.
I mean, I'm not surprised because of the dives, and you're gonna get it. But I mean, the teammates collide. We've got a Sebastian Vettel, Mark Webber scenario going on. And this is bought in. Look at P11 now. He's right there.
Oh, here he is. The Red
He's
Bull
on the hard
to
tyre.
watch for. He's right on the rear diffuser there. Pucci with the damage. He's going to be slow through some of these turns.
Absolutely. And he's got the hard tyre as well, is Peter. So, yeah, he's in a decent position.
Back into the race, especially for points. He's looking for an open door. He's going to send it. Oh, off goes Julian Prince as well.
He's had a snap.
He's had a snap. He can't get it this time. Maybe next lap round. Pucci's going to struggle with that damage. The door can open at any minute. He's going to snag that understeer.
Yeah, he is. Going back to the leaders, though, it's closed up ever so slightly. 10 laps to go. Still, no answer as to who's going to win. It's Gaccio at the front, or Gaccio at the front, from Ogerman, Hako, Lazzo, looking decent. But 3rd and 4th is mediums, 1 and 2, the hard tyre, and they will surely start to reap the rewards of that early struggle.
Yeah, we're going to certainly see Hard versus medium compound tyre here. You have 2 for 2. Level playing field. Will the mediums stick it out all the way to the end? Hako almost had a bit of a wobble there, whether he's trying to break the toe or whatnot on that Aston Martin. But Latso is looking to be sizing up an open door, trying to make one at least, looking to put Hako under a bit of pressure. I wonder whose tyres are going to last out in terms of the medium runners. They're going to feel a bit grim in a couple of laps' time. They've been on them for a while. 18 laps. Surely the drop-off is going to come soon for those medium compound tyre. 18 laps completed on them. The hard compound tyres certainly having a bit of an advantage over those mediums. But they're not losing time. The DRS, as you say, is powerful. It's very powerful indeed. They're doing very well to stay within that DRS striking distance. Not letting these used up medium tyres affect them too badly. Orfeld seems to be the one struggling on the medium compound tyre.
Yeah, I think that's something that we've got to ask them in the interviews, because the safety car, as early as it was, I mean, the hard looked the obvious option, and of course, you know, yes, they've got fresh mediums, yes, they've got fresh softs, but you can't base a strategy on luck and safety cars and virtuals. You have to go with what makes sense at the time, and for me, it was always the hard tire, and yeah, whether or not they think they can get to the end or they expected a safety car, this is something that we have to find out, because it's quite intriguing.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like you say, it's a brave, bold strategy. It was a risky one the moment we saw the mediums on his car. It was something that we never expected, and you estimated around lap 30 it could get really, really bad for them. But you see, they're not as close as they once was. They're starting to feel the strain now. They're not getting the exits. They're not getting the braking. It's the harder compound tyre now that are benefiting. The gap is slowly starting to open up between Hako. Hako's trying anything and everything he can to stay within a relatively close distance to maybe have an opportunity of an overtake. Latso as well was very, very close early on, but opened up the gap a little bit, and it's closing up a little bit. It seems to be a bit inconsistent with the medium compound tyre.
I don't know. At the minute, I'd still say the medium looks fine. The problem they've got is Ogerman is just doing enough to keep them behind, but not really doing enough to pass. Craggy's retired on the pit entry. Oh, he's where's he dropped it? He's dropped it somehow. This is going to be, without a doubt, this is going to be a safety car and a box for softs, because there's no way in hell. I mean, this is what I'm saying. Matt is right back in this now. If he can get round.
Matt boxed for Meads. He's already boxed once. He doesn't need to box again.
Yeah, but he may as well, because he's that far behind. What he needs to do is just go past the safety car, because he's nearly a full lap down. But if he's got the time, he should probably check on a set of new boots.
What a shot! And Crag it out. Was not expecting
Crag,
that.
Yeah, that's such a peculiar place to retire. Was there contact with PW Jones? That's the question.
Oh, just for speculation here in the comms booth, we didn't really see that one. But we would love some insight if anybody in the chat had a better view than we did.
I'll be honest. This is. Oh, Matt's sped into the pit lane. Was that Craggy's front wing there. Yeah, this has helped everybody. Don't forget anybody's staying out here. For those who've got a penalty, it's not very good.
Oh, Matt's had to do his wing. He's lapped.
Yeah, I say I don't really get why he pit that lap, but for me, I would have gone past the safety car and then at least stay on the lead lap. But who stayed out? That's the question. I don't think anybody stayed out.
No, I think everybody is on fresh soft compound tyre. So it's going to be like a 5-lapper now to the end, providing when the safety car shall make its disappearance.
Yeah. I tell you, I think who's going to be the most annoyed about this safety car is the front two. Because that now puts everybody on the same playing field. Um, what's going on? Matt's letting everybody through, I think. And this is part of what I like about the lobby reset. It gives everybody new tires, and ultimately that means everybody can go ultra aggressive.
Yeah, this is it now. Full aggression, hard as you can go, all the way to the end. You don't need to worry about pushing your tyres too hard. The nice and fresh, soft, compounded tyre. Hopefully everybody saved it. Oh no, we've had a lobby restart. Everybody does have fresh tyres. So qualify didn't matter. They're all on fresh softs. It's going to be a 5-lap shootout all the way to the end now. Couldn't expect it to get any more spicier than this in the final closing laps.
Yeah, I think Matt's trying to let him through. Matt, I don't know if you can hear the stream, but it might be worth you just going off track and just letting everyone through if that's what you want to do, or something. I'm not really sure if you can do it right here, but yeah, there you are. He's going into the pit lane. Doesn't have to retire. He can obviously continue, but yeah, fair play to Matt. I think that's good sportsmanship there. In fact, he has retired, but. Have a good go on your first league race, and we learn and we move on.
That's off to him. Yeah, welcome to league racing, and hopefully we see you in a fight next time. You've had a couple of spinach here and there, so it's a bit unfortunate, but welcome to league racing. I hope you've had a good time trying to get out there and get fighting. Unfortunate turn of events is the way this Zandvoort GP has gone on, round 1 has gone on, but we'll see you next week and fighting once again. It's nice to see new drivers, especially as they make their entrance into.
Oh my days! I've just seen what's happened with Craggy. So what's happened with Craggy is he's taken the final corner at the bottom, and it's there's just no downforce, and he's just lost it completely.
Oh, so it's just a spinach and into the wall. I'll have a little look at that later on if I was to look at it now. Well, there's the call. Safety car will be in this lap. Only Orfelt sat there with a time penalty. The racing you will see from P1 down to P10, well P9 even, is for track position. Orfelt, unless the 3-second gap is made, will ultimately drop down to the back of the field. The track limits is going to cost him here after the safety car calls in and does its thing. The pack bunched back up, everybody with a nice time distance. There he goes, Gatcher's gone, but did not catch out Adjoman or anybody else for that matter. Hako well within striking distance. Everybody well within striking distance. You see the V-cabs at the back. They're making a switcheroo. There's a send. They're almost contact with that Mercedes. Teammates
are fighting everywhere. The teammates are really getting their elbows out. I'm not really sure why they're fighting quite so hard, to be honest. They are meant to be working together. But I also love this. I love the fact that they are fighting because it just means they want the best for themselves. And hey, listen, who doesn't want that?
Papaya rules, maybe?
Papaya rules do not exist.
Just don't wreck the car.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is now, Gatcher's going to be on some real pressure now, because which way do you go about it? Do you go about setting off, burning your ERS, and then it's a case of if they catch me? I think on F123 you could do that on this game because obviously the DRS is enabled after 1 lap. You can't do that no more. You just can't gain enough time to make that advantage. So I don't expect Gatcher to waste his ERS. I think he's going to have to be smart though.
Yeah, no, he just needs to try and, if he can, pull ahead, break the gap, but he would have to deploy that battery. But no, he needs to keep it all in reserve to defend what could be an attack in the final closing lap. Still 3 laps to go as of yet, so the drivers are just trying to stay close together. Orfelt has already dropped a second to Peter. Peter staying very close in that DRS train. Could he do anything? But we are currently on board with Adjoman, the leading Red Bull for the team. It's a good comeback for Peter though. He was outside of the points just not 10 laps ago, and he's now there in P8 fighting away with Orfelt Orfeld goes through, but the Red Bull's going to try and defend it. Has a bit of a snap, collected on the curb. Keeps himself clean and going, though. The teammates still fighting away.
Yeah, these V-carbs, I mean, it's aggressive. They're all aggressive. I mean, Craggy was aggressive early on.
Him go. Peter's letting him go.
I'm not really sure why.
He's dropped out of it. I think he's done. I think he may have had enough there. Hako, fastest lap. Snatching it there.
Yeah, I'm not really sure why he would just back out there.
Yeah, he's done. He's had enough. He's retiring.
Yeah, well, he will get a point because he has completed 90%, of course. Yeah, these V-carbs are really, really aggressive. It's going to be interesting to see how that transcends into other tracks. For now, though, Gatcha is on the back foot. PW Jones getting involved. He's not been anywhere near the front. He is now, though.
Oh, could see a late Williams trying to sneak in that last-minute podium. He is a bit of a distance from that. Is everybody within the DRS striking distance for overtakes? But don't count him out yet. Do not count out Jonesy. We've seen him get race victories in Season 1. Can he pull out a victory in Season 2? Get a race victory, should I say.
Yeah, he didn't win one in Season 1, but yeah, I think he stopped racing after like 4 races or something.
Yeah, he didn't, did he? No. Thinking of Luger, who was a Williams.
Did he?
driver.
No, I think he might have won, actually.
I think he has had one race victor. We did have wow, what a season 1 was. Had 8 different victors on the podium. 8 different victors in 12 races. What a result.
Yeah, these top 2 are starting to pull a gap here. Adjaman, for me, is in prime position.
He is indeed, but when will the move come? His anticipation. This has been a very tough race indeed, Matt, like we see you in the chat there. Yes, a very tough race for a lot of drivers. It's been a fight between Gatcha and Adjaman. They've been swapping DRS all the way through, but it's Gatcha now leading as we come around the penultimate corner for the second to last time. Get ourselves ready to start the final lap, and this is it. All guns blazing. Can Hako do anything? Can Adjaman do anything to stop what has been a fairly dominant Alpine? He's looking for an outside line, but he's not close enough as of yet. Can he switch it back to the inside line? No, he cannot. Gatcha still leading with a strong bit of a lead there. Hako nowhere near close enough to do anything to try and fight higher up on the podium, but it'll be a podium nonetheless for the Mercedes driver. Gatcha still looking good for race victory. It's still 1 DRS zone to go before we come around that final turn. Aided with the DRS, it's going to be where the overtake will be done. All it's for now is Adjaman to try and close up the gap, get right on that rear diffuser, set himself up for the endgame. Hako closing up a little bit there, but did not get the traction down better. The Red Bull bridging that gap open a little bit more. Had a bit of a stinker turn there in second sector. The DRS will aid in closing that gap up, but is it enough? Will it be enough, or will Hako be the one to benefit? Hako's a lot closer than Adjaman is to Gatcha. Will Hako be the driver to press on and potentially make the move here? The rear wings are open, the batteries are being burned, but for round 1, it could be the Alpine to cross the line as it is. Gatcha winning, Adjaman taking P2, and Hako finishing those podium points. Latza P4, Jonesy P5, Banana P6, Julian P7, and I shall finish you off with the race finish in a moment. But wow, that could have been interesting. Not a lot of moves being made though. We expected overtakes, they did not come. Pucci, driver of the day.
Pucci might be in the steward's room, but for now he gets the driver of the day. There was a lot of aggression in that. I think as the season goes, we might see that dwindle. Gatcha with a brilliant pole to race win. Good battle with Adjaman. It was all about that final sector on lap 35. Gatcha just absolutely nailed it. And it really was just down to thousands and tenths. A real good opener. Really enjoyed it. A bit more, too many safety cars, I would say, Corey.
Yeah, not what we
But
would
of
like to
course,
see.
listen, a lot of these drivers have never raced with each other, so yeah, that's obviously part of it. But absolutely thoroughly enjoyed it. Make sure you get the classification so we can put the points, the standings together. I gotta say, I actually really enjoyed that. For we didn't know what it would be. Yeah, I can't complain with that.
No, it certainly sets a bit of a benchmark of what's to be expected here in the PC side of things in OTLR, a freshly opened sector. We have the console crossplay, PlayStation and Xbox. You can still sign yourself up for what will potentially be a reserved position. Get yourself down here, but for now, PC drivers, you are wanted. You are wanted to get joined in the action you have seen tonight. So if you're happy, you enjoyed the battle, you think you have what it takes to take on a Gacha, then get yourself down here. But at the minute, he will be leading the standings. We shall now move on to see if we can have a quick word with any of the drivers in the interview room. What a result, I've got to say. Quite happy with the way this has turned out. The PC tier was not looking like it was something to come, but it certainly has come into fruition, to say the least. A lot of work going into that interview. So I just write out the message for the drivers. So the drivers, if they so wish to be interviewed, have the option to join the interview room. We do have our resident newbie, Matt, in the interview room waiting away, but we normally like to get the top 3 in first. We shall potentially have a quick word with our new driver, see how he felt about joining the PC side of things. Who's that we have in? Is that Hakor? It is indeed. So we have Hakor looking to potentially get himself into an interview. Wait to see if anybody else shall be joining us. With Hakor P3, we can get going with yourself. But what a result on the podium. Taking a podium in round 1 of the PC side in Off the Line Racing. A good result for the start of the season. How are you feeling about that? You know, you had some good rivalry there. Going out on the medium tyre for a dramatically long stint, to say the least, was interesting to see. But let's have your take on that. How did you feel in qualifying? What was going through your thought here coming into the newly opened PC tier?
I mean, I was kind of sad about my quali lap. There was at least like 3 to 4 tenths in it. So I don't know if Poe was in there, but at least the second place was. But I mean, the race was good. It was really good fun racing with the Red Bull and the Alpine out in front. It's really good. They were both really clean. I almost had the Red Bull at some point, but he had more years than me. The mediums were fine throughout the entire race. For some reason, they just lasted, and I could keep close. I just had to manage the front left. That's what I wanted to do in the soft stint as well, because the front left gets absolutely slaughtered around here.
Of course, 10 turns of this track are to the right and only 4 to the left. So that left front tyre takes an absolute demolishing. You know, it burns away so quickly. Thermal degradation, as we know, on this game physics, the handling model we've been given for F124, the thermal degradation now being a huge factor in tyre degradation. So you've got to be careful as well, especially the way you send it through these corners. But you certainly made those mediums last quite a distance, to say the least, all the way through to the end. So, no, it's a good run, a very good run on those medium tyres, showing what can be possible here in Zandvoort. And getting yourself on the podium, we love to see it. Love to see a P3 finish there, and hopefully we see you taking that top spot, taking a race victory. But no, hard, well fought from yourself, and congrats on the P3, Matt. Good way to start the season.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Ricky, any questions, my man?
No, apart from, well, I've got one, I suppose. Why on earth did you choose mediums at that stage of the race because it just, for the life of me, I didn't think that other than the hard was the choice. Was your intention just to get lucky at the end, or what?
No, I mean, I knew everyone else was gonna go for hards, and I just wanted to do something different and try it out. I knew the mediums could last quite a while if you just manage them, right? Yeah, but I did also kill them quite a bit when I had a bit of a half spin in the high speed corner. But yeah, I mean, the mediums, they're a great tire around here. They have huge amounts of grip compared to the hards. I just couldn't make them work in the first 10 laps for some reason, but that's something I can work on.
Yeah, lovely. And of course, that we got to talk about that little brown moment, that trouser moment, because you had a moment, didn't you, around sort of lap, I think it was 23 or something, and you dropped from 3rd to 5th.
Yeah, I think I touched the grass with my left rear, and I had to do an incredible save. I'm not sure how I did it, but yeah, I mean, I saved all my battery behind the two front guys, so I could easily make work of Craggy and can't remember the other guy's name, but yeah.
That was lovely stuff and beautiful to see you on the podium. Hopefully, see you on the top spot next time. We do
Thank you.
have our P2. Yes, Agile Man. P2, what a race. Fighting away with Gacha, the pole sitter. That was lovely to see. Of course, a lot of action going on there. You going on the hard compound tyre, certainly being the one to prevail. Although Hako saying those mediums felt very, very nice for it. That entire huge stint ran. So you going for the more logical choice, harder compound tyre. But how was your qualifying? You certainly had some decent pace, but again, the pole sitter Gacha, your rival you was racing against all race long. How were you feeling about that? Any pressure coming into round one?
Yeah, hi. Yeah, the Alpine went too fast in qualifying. I didn't have the pace to get him in qualifying. And then in the race, I wanted to do a strategy of soft and medium, but the safety car came in. And yeah, the Alpine was much faster than me all the race, and I just had to keep behind him and get that P2, I guess.
So you think you knew you were racing for P2? You don't think you could have got the victory in the race?
Maybe if the safety car didn't come out, I could have done an undercut, go for an earlier pit stop, but yeah, the safety was unfortunate for me, and yeah, I had to box for that hard that were too difficult to warm and get them in hot temperatures, but yeah, he was faster than me in that hard, so that's it.
Yeah, fair enough, mate. It's nice to see you up on the podium as well. One of our newly signed drivers as well, coming into the PC tier of Off the Line Racing. Lovely thing to get the driver supporting as well. Get you down here racing. You're on the podium. It's a good start to the season. Still 10 more rounds to go. So a lot of chances for you to take your racing victory and potentially battle on for the driver's standings. Your teammate today not having too well of a race on the start, but did manage to recover, so got you some good points as well to put towards constructors. So it's lovely to see you up here, and I will congratulations on P2
Yeah,
on
thank
the
you.
podium, and I shall pass you on to Ricky, my man, for anything you would like to add.
Oh yeah, well done. Good race. What I wanted to say is obviously it's a new venture that we're on. Was the pace quite surprising to you of the majority of people, because there didn't seem to be certainly in quali the gaps didn't seem that big, and obviously having one tier it can be smaller, it can be large, but I mean for me as a league owner it surprised me, but For you as a driver, did you expect there to be a bigger gap?
This is it's my first race here. So in my first race in leagues, I just focus on my pace. Yeah, maybe the quali times could have been faster, but I just focused on the P1 on the Alpine and try to fight him for the victory. But yeah, first race, yeah, I don't know, yeah, maybe, yeah, but I don't know. I just focused on the P1 in my position. I didn't even look at the rest of the times, just in the Alpine and the Mercedes, I think it was.
Yep.
But yeah.
Man's focused on P1, gotta respect it.
Always trying to to get the win.
No, good start. It was good. It's a good start. It's a good start at P2. So well done.
Yeah, thank you. How do I say it? Well, my English is not that good, I know, but I try to speak the better I can.
Nice,
So-
all right, mate. We appreciate you joining us for an interview, of course, with you saying your English isn't too good. A lot of people could feel a bit intimidated from that. But no, lovely to have a chat with you. And our P2 sitter for this evening. Hopefully see you in P1 next time.
Thank you. See ya, guys.
See you later. Thanks for joining. And that will do us, ladies and gentlemen. That is round 1 of the PC tier done and dusted. I shall let us all have a quick little run through of the calendar one last time so you know what to expect next week at the same place, same time. We get ourselves going over to the mighty Suzuka circuit in Japan, and I'm excited for this one. Sector 1 is dangerous, it's deadly, and can really mess up your race. So hopefully the drivers have mastered that entry line, stayed away from those curbs, and can pull out their potential chance to get themselves here on the top spot and set up for the rest of the season. We get ourselves a nice little week rest now before we have to get going once again in Suzuka. But no, thank you for joining me, Ricky, more than most, our Race It League owner, the founder of Off the Line Racing, to get you here in the commentary booth itself. It's been a pleasure, my friend, to have you.
Yeah, it's been a bit surreal. I gotta say, I'm actually really quite pleased with how that panned out, and the hard thing is done now. We've got it off the ground. Now it's just about building, and yeah, like I say, moving forward, we can grow. So let's do that.
Couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. Put a lot of work into this, put a lot of effort gone into getting this off the ground and soaring. Don't get us wrong, we're not flying high just yet. We've still got a couple little things to go, but for a start, it has been an absolute banger. And we shall see you all again in just a week's time for round 2 in Suzuka.